And welcome back. Time for this week's Capital Report with Pat McGuigan of CapitolBeatOK.com. Pat, the Finance Secretary released information this week making it clear the Board of Equalization Monday is going to declare a revenue failure. We've both covered this situation, but outline what does this mean for the state government?
What we're headed towards is, in the last 6 months of the fiscal year, cuts in the 4.6% range, a few $100 million less than they had hoped to bring in this year by the original projections. In the long term, they're projecting now, anticipating as much as a $900 million shortfall for the fiscal year 2017. What it means in the near term is that the state is short of even the 95% of originally projected revenues that you have to be at to fulfill the budget. So in other words, 2.7%. And the way it was expressed to me, I thought was kind of interesting, because I pressed and asked some questions. They said, it's a 2% cut on an annualized basis, but it'll feel like 4% to the state agencies because they have to pack it in for 6 months. And that's before we even get to the new fiscal year. So it's a tough time for families in Oklahoma. It's a tough time for a lot of our people in the oil patch. And there's a lot of families that have already made 4% adjustments in their expenditures. And unfortunately, some of them will also be affected by this. But as for the government itself, it's not the end of the world. I happen to agree with Preston Dorfinger on that. It's going to be tough, but we have to buckle down and do it. And as you always hear Pat McGuigan say, maybe it's an opportunity for that right sizing and for looking at some of the functions of government. But it'll be tough, including for our schools.
You'll continue to follow this. Now, as you have for more than 20 years, Pat participated as a judge in the Media Research Center's national evaluation of the best, which means to be the worst, examples of bias in national news coverage. Give us a sketch of the results.
Well, the notable quotables, the annual notable quotables, the group founded by Brent Bozell, Media Research Center. You can go to mrc.org to check all the categories out for yourself. I am a judge again. I was a judge. My personally, the most offensive quote of the year, I thought, was the one that George Takei said on a Fox station out in Arizona, the former, Star Trek actor, and got a lot of publicity, and he ultimately apologized, sort of, for it, but he referred to Clarence Thomas as being someone that does not deserve to be on the Supreme Court, and he used the reference to, the bad old days of vaudeville and blackface. And I didn't appreciate that, so that was what I nominated for the worst quote of the year. It was actually a different quote that won, and it was Melissa Harri-Perry questioning the work ethic of Paul Ryan. Whatever else you want to say about Paul Ryan, he knows how to work hard. So you can go there. There's lots of fun categories and some that are kind of dismaying and almost despair-inducing as well. But check it out for yourself.
All right, let's end on a positive note. And you have had some Santa gigs, it seems.
I have. I'm going to put on my hat and say very quickly, I was blessed to be Santa Claus again for a party for Rose Rock and for residents of the Center of Family Love in Okarche. It's an annual party organized by Scott Hill and Pam Green of Access Sports. It was held at the Santa Fe Family Life Center here in Oklahoma City, and there was a nice pic of me with one of the young ladies from Center of Family Love. God bless everyone. Merry Christmas, and all you Santas out there, do your job.
Thanks, Pat. And you can read more about these and other topics at CapitolBeatOK.com. For Pat McGuigan, I'm Alex Cameron. Have a Merry Christmas.